Hello, fabulous people. This is the Together podcast, and this is the place where Sharice and I come together to help you get it together for your everyday business life. So we hope you enjoy. Good morning, everybody. My name is Natalie Elliott, and that was Sharice B. And this is the Together podcast, where we come together to help you get it together. And y'all, we also be helping ourselves get it together as well. And so we are here today on this fabulous Cinco de Mayo. I'm excited that Cinco de Mayo is falling on Taco Tuesday. I'm hoping somehow that's going to mean that I will be able to get a margarita somewhere for half off. I'm hoping. So I'm all excited. Yesterday was a beautiful day. I'm hoping today is equally as beautiful. So Sharice and I are still going to have our live event. We haven't come up with a new date. So if anybody has any particular dates out there that they want us to do or definitely not want us to do, definitely DM us. So you can always reach Sharice on Facebook. I am Stronger on LinkedIn. So feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. And today our podcast is really going to be Sharice talking to you guys today about visual authority, how image impacts revenue and respect, specifically respect. And so one of the things we're going to talk about today is, people say don't judge a book by its cover, but in business, people do it every single day and it impacts your money. And so thinking about that, like one of the ways as a therapist, I traditionally thought about that was how my office looked, the type of furniture I had in my office, making sure that, the bathrooms were clean, the lobby looked nice, the furniture was sturdy, that it was plush furniture and not like, folding chairs for the waiting room. So things like that, it does impact, who sees you, how long they see you, and things like that. So we're going to let Sharice really talk about that and take the lead on that. And why I want you guys thinking about it, because sometimes a small tweak like that really can impact your business. Back in the day, the way business cards looked, what business cards had on them, if they looked like they were quality business cards or not quality business cards. We no longer have to worry about that as much, but I do want you to think about those things. Now, you can only do as well as you can do on the level you're at. And so do the best you can on your level, and then think when you can upgrade, go ahead and upgrade. And I think that's one of the things that's hard to think about in business is I would like for you to have a system in place for how you upgrade your stuff, your systems. So, for example, you may want to say every 3 years, we're going to look at the lobby and figure out how to redo that. Or every 4 years, we're going to look at all of our paperwork and overhaul that. And that can be as often as frequent as you like. Professional photos, those need to be done every 3 years, And I got to say, if you're posting on social media a lot, you may need to do your professional photos every year and maybe do a set of AI photos like every 6 months, so that you really do have a lot of fresh photos coming at you. Also, selfies are taken. A lot of selfies will help you fill in the gap with all of the pictures that you need. I don't know if we think about the concept of visual authority, but it's definitely a conversation to have. What type of authority are you projecting with your visual products? And so back in the day, that could have been brochures. Today is your website, your social medias. Like, what are they looking like? Are they composed in a way which says that you do things in an orderly fashion, or do they look a little chaotic? Simple things as, are your brand colors consistent on social media, or what you posting consistent on social media, so that people have an idea that you're structured, that you are y'all back? Oh, both of y'all are back. Hey, how long y'all been here? Because I was on another screen, but I was talking about we're talking about visual authority today, and how things just need to look good, really. And how if they don't look good, they can be impacting your money. And so, Sharice, I really wanted you to talk today about just some basic things we can do every day to make sure that we look good, and
Mhm.
then what you notice that people struggle with in their businesses that doesn't look good, that could look better. Take it away.
To your point, people say don't judge a book by its cover, but we do it every day in personal life and business, all day, every day. How
Mm-hmm.
you look tells your story. And, to challenge the audience, how are you looking? How are you
Mm-hmm.
feeling?
Mm-hmm.
When you're going out, are you getting the results that you want?
Yeah.
Um, when it comes to your office day to day, when it comes to just going out in public, personally, are you dating? Are you trying to attract a new type of man, a new type of friend? You know,
Mm-hmm.
job, it
Mm-hmm.
matters. Image matters, and every bit of it, all day, every day matters. So don't get caught
Mm-hmm.
going to the grocery store in your ugly stuff. Looking a hot mess, you just don't know. You just don't know. You are always representing yourself, and you are your own walking billboard,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when you talk about introducing the concept of visual authority, what role are you playing in business and in your personal life? Even
Mm-hmm.
when it's have to go to the school for the children,
Mm-hmm.
showing up for yourself and your children and for the other professionals.
Mm-hmm.
As a parent, yeah, you're a parent, but I'm sure you're a professional as well. If you're not any professional, you're still representing, you are the CEO of that family. So visual authority is inevitable, period. So
Mm-hmm.
what authority are you standing in when you are showing up in any position, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I want you to talk more about, I mean, to an extent it has to do with your clothes and what you're wearing, but also it's more about like how you wear the clothes. Like I've seen a lady, I think we were in Publix, and she just had on sweatpants and sweatshirt, but she just looked so nice. Like she looked like I was trying to, because I was looking at it like, you just got on sweatpants and sweatshirt, but you look so well, so put together, so in charge, so I was really shocked. I was like, somebody was there with me. I didn't want to take a picture of the lady, but I was just like, okay, it's not just about kind of what you wear, it's how you wear it
how you wear
sometimes.
it.
Yeah.
It's caring. It's putting it together. It's coordinating the right colors, textures,
Mm-hmm.
your clothes, the right clothes on the right body type. Um, I think first of all, like you said, the first thing you saw was, wow, she has on a jogging suit and a sweatshirt and she looks so polished. Well,
Mm-hmm.
probably had on a matching set, you
Yeah.
know. It probably was new. It wasn't wrinkled.
Right. Right.
It didn't look like she just threw it on. Her hair was
Mm-hmm.
probably
Hair
polished.
was done, makeup was done, and she was
Makeup.
a taller lady. And so I think
Mhm.
that's also what I noticed, because I know sometimes tall people struggle finding the clothes that will fit their body.
Right.
And so I think I was also impressed, like, where'd she get that outfit? She's so tall. Like she was just gorgeous lady. Hmm.
And it's just putting in the work for yourself, like putting yourself first, putting in the work, not being
Mm,
lazy, you and your image and your style, because it
mm,
truly, no matter where you're going and where you're showing up. And if you
mm-hmm.
struggle, that's why you have me. That's why you have an image consultant. You have a second eye. A lot of people think when they say the words image consultant or stylist, people think immediately expensive.
Yeah.
I consider myself a second eye to my clients. I consider myself their secret weapon, right? And
Mm,
when it comes to your image and how you show up, you can't afford not to afford me. You can't afford
mm,
to have me in your life. You need to have access to me so that you can just say, hey, what about these colors? What about this on my body type? What about this
mm-hmm.
hair? for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think the number one thing that people are doing wrong is they're dressing their body wrong.
Okay.
I think people dress by habit. I think
By
we dress,
convenience. I mean, a lot of times it's just,
yeah,
what do I have?
yeah,
For me, I'm comfort. I'm at an age where like I want to be comfortable. I just do not want to be. I'm not trying to be in the bathroom at halftime taking off my garments,
yeah,
undergarments. Like I want to be comfortable.
yeah,
So figuring that out.
yeah, that's real.
Hmm. What are some like practical everyday tips we could do to have that visual authority every day?
Okay, so number one, know your colors. Your
Okay.
colors can absolutely change the game. A lot of us every day are online.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All they're seeing is your head, shoulders, right?
Mm-hmm.
Top of your body. So that most important thing is have your hair polished, have your makeup together, and have the right colors. And when I say color, down to hair color, makeup color, you should know what your foundation is. You should know the best lip color for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Know what colors look best on your skin tone. And
Okay.
also with your hair, a lot of us have hair color in our hair.
Mm-hmm.
So are you wearing the right hair color? Right? Are
Mm-hmm.
you, is everything blending properly? You know,
Mm-hmm.
so that you radiate instead of looking dull or just not radiating, because if you notice when you wear the colors that look best on you, they make you feel really good and they make your skin radiate. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so number one, best colors, so get you a color analysis. All
Okay.
right,
All right. Wait. How do we get a color analysis?
hire an image consultant,
Okay.
because you can do the online stuff, you can do that, that's
Mm-hmm.
fine, but you're not going to get the best results. You need those colors up against your skin. You need the fabrics up against your skin to see what is going to work best for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
You'd be so surprised at how affordable it is. Okay. And we'll talk about that later. Number two, body type. You got to
Mm-hmm.
know what works best on your body.
Yeah.
Okay. And, to be fair, pretty much everyone can wear a jogging suit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sweatshirt, bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. Great tip for now that I think is working for most bodies: the wide leg pants.
Yeah.
Shift
Yeah.
over wide leg. They are so forgiving, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wearing the skinny legs weren't quite as forgiving, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For a lot of
Mm-hmm.
our body types.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much any body type can wear the wide legs and look really good. So then you have to figure out, are you a low waist girl or are you a high waist girl? I'm a super fan of high waisted for most body types, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Especially women who are dealing with height and tummies.
Mm-hmm.
And they're super surprised because one of the things that I notice most is that they don't want to talk about, they don't want to think about, they don't want to look at the tummy, the midsection
Mm-hmm.
area,
Mm-hmm.
right? So don't tell me I need to cover it up. Don't show me how to cover it up. You'd be surprised how many people do that. With the high waisted pants, you can pull those pants up higher
Mm-hmm.
and give yourself more of a shape, surprisingly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then especially a lot of women have the box shape. Those are a universal style that you can pull that high waist up over that tummy, put a cardigan on, put the right t-shirt on, the
Mm-hmm.
right sweater or sweatshirt on, and you just pulled it together for yourself. You know,
Mm-hmm.
can't be afraid to try it, you know. Um, but those are my two top tips: is color. Know your colors, because that is what's going to radiate up off of you, in and through you, and the people are going to say, "Oh, wow. I love your hair color. Oh my goodness, you look so good in green. You look so
Mm-hmm.
good. You look so good in those royal colors." And then that's
Mm-hmm.
going to take the attention off all the other areas that you're concerned about and no one else is really concerned about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh, but
I think
those
that's
are
a big lesson right there though, is knowing, and I think you can have an honest conversation about with your friends, and they've probably said something to you like nobody notices that but you.
hmm
And
hmm
so being conscious of those things so you don't wind up, I feel like, wasting time majoring in the minor, those things that like nobody's noticing but you, but you're missing the thing that people are noticing. So I think it does take being open to feedback, like being open to feedback and knowing that if it's your team that they're doing it or saying it or leading you this direction, for your good and for your benefit, and taking feedback is hard sometimes, especially if it's about our personal opinion, our personal appearance, or something that we've really worked hard to, like, I've worked so hard for this branding and this business color to find out that it was all wrong. And so it's being okay with like changing it all over again.
yeah,
And I'd love you to have like, oh, okay, but if that's what I need to do to make more money, okay, then that's what we do. And not have get personally invested in it. Like we have to change from time to time. And I think one of the things for me, when they took my favorite Chick-fil-A down to the red dirt. Like, yeah, I'm so not kidding. Like, I tried to pull in the Chick-fil-A parking lot. There was nothing there. It was like dirt. But I think that was such a huge business lesson for me is sometimes you will have to take your business down to the red dirt. Like you back down. We got to redo this foundation. We got to redo the layout, the look of everything to be ready
yeah.
for the next decade, the next 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. So, okay. What'd you say, Sharice?
And even you, like
Mm-hmm.
you're in that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's an uncomfortable conversation for a lot of people. A
Yeah.
lot of people don't want to talk about it. They don't want to hear it, but it's very necessary, like you said. And having the right people around you is key. The people who will tell you the truth and the people who want to see you win, right?
Right.
So I believe that image is a strategy. It's not vanity and it's not superficial.
Right.
It is a real strategy in how you connect with people and how you make people feel when they encounter you.
Yes. Yeah. Because I
You're
will say, if you have somebody, and y'all had this experience before, that there's some people, it's their look, how they speak to you, you just feel like they can handle it. And then
yeah,
there's some people that you don't feel like they can handle it.
yeah.
And so it was a really good show called The Diplomat. And the
Mhm.
lady at the beginning of the show, they were saying how it worked for her to look scrappy, to look
Mhm.
like she was like pulling it all together at the last minute. And it
Mhm.
worked for her. And it
Mhm.
worked for where she was that point. And then later on, they were like, they don't look good anymore. For where
Yeah,
you are now, and actually on this particular show, where she was trying to go was the vice president of the United States. It was like you need to, as one of the leaders of the free world, you need to look like you could put an outfit together if you can't do nothing else. So what do you have to do? And so
yeah,
the current vice president was a female, and she was like, my eyebrows are and eyeliner is tattooed on, and all of these things, because she was like, it matters. Your image matters at this level. Where at the other level, it worked for you. You were the behind the scenes, scrappy, putting it together, and it no longer works. And so thinking about that and knowing that different positions require different looks, different
yeah,
positions require different looks.
yeah.
And for a long time in corporate America, I did this because I had heard it young: dress for the job you want, not for the job you have.
Yes.
Dress for the job you want. And
Yeah.
so when I actually came into the mental health field, and I was still kind of more dressing corporate America like, I remember a couple of people thought that I was my boss's boss because the just how we were dressed differently. And so it's
Yeah,
very interesting. So yeah, and I think that still applies today. Dress for the job you want, not for the job you have. Dress for the life you
I
want,
agree.
the life you want. Yeah, with that. Okay. What else, Sharice? What else do people need to know about image?
So I think that, so let's go back to it not being, such vanity and superficial. If you think of it being a strategy more than superficial, I think you'll give more attention and
Mm,
intentionality to
mm-hmm,
it. Right?
mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people have built their life and business off of their image.
Right? Right.
Yeah. Myself included. And, I'm real low key because I've been in a salon for years. But when it's time to show up, in certain corporate spaces, and, meetings, events, and stuff like that, it's like you got to step it up.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is your style? And it doesn't have to be one dimensional, right?
Right.
But
Yeah.
it needs to be defined, because if you're going to your closet and you're confused daily, that's not going to work, because that's stressful, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Stressful when I have to think about what I'm wearing every day. So
Mm-hmm.
another tab is put your uniforms in place. What
Gotcha.
are your uniforms, right? For me, it's
Mm-hmm.
much, I wear black a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not in black. I'm in a Nike jogging suit of some sort, right? And
Right.
then when it's time to take it up a notch for a meeting, event, I pretty much know what I'm gonna wear, because I'm a little one dimensional when it comes to color. I don't wear a whole lot of color.
Mm-hmm.
I wear a lot of black, or I'm not a colorful girl.
Mm-hmm.
I wear solids with a pop of color, and sometimes my hair is the pop of color. So those are important things that you need to know about
Mm-hmm.
yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to color, what are your power colors?
Yeah.
What are those colors that are your go-to colors when I need to make a statement? I might need to just make a subtle statement, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. That's really good. That's really, really good. So I want to talk to you guys about that uniform, what she just said, because I think some people hear that and they'll be like, but I'm not a blue collar worker, or I'm not, I don't want to have a uniform. And I want to go a little bit deeper in that, because part of that is making your life easier. And so one of the things Steve Jobs usually only wore the same thing, I think, every day. I think he wore jeans and a black turtleneck, and
Mhm.
that was it. And
Yep.
having multiple of those in your closet. There's also a doctor on TV who talks about that. Just making it simple for yourself so that you're not having to stand in the closet. I've done it for 30
Yeah.
minutes trying to figure out what to wear, what looks good. Take the time and go ahead and figure out what looks comfortable. What looks comfortable, what is comfortable and looks good and works for your body type, and then just get 3 or 4 of those and you rotate those out. And so I know you don't have to have a huge wardrobe to have a good wardrobe. If you have
Right.
your staple pieces that you can switch, and yeah, we've all seen it on social media, right? Where they've taken like 3 pair of pants, 3 different shirts, and 3 different jackets and made what, 9 or 20 something outfits, whatever the number is. And so really taking time and thinking about how that looks,
Yeah.
and I'm probably halfway in the middle of it. Some things I do good on, some things I'm not. I do show up with solids
Hmm.
because I've noticed that solids look better on video and solids
Yes.
look better on me. And I have a busy background, so I don't need to have a busy shirt on top of a busy background.
Exactly.
And so I've learned that I could probably do better. Probably need to sit down and think about what I can do better on and make a tweak on. But definitely thinking about your lighting,
Mm-hmm.
And so I actually, last time I had my photographer take pictures, I also had him come to my house and check my lighting out down here. And so he
Yeah.
gave me some lighting instructions. There's two more things I need to do. I need to put like probably a plant or something real in the background to just give the pictures a little bit more dimension. But
Mm-hmm.
there are things that you can do. So if you know somebody who's good with lighting, who's a photographer, and they can come by your house and help you, if you're on video like I am every single day,
Yeah.
then that's an option so that you can have that visual authority. And
Yeah.
so we sat here, we talked. The lights that I thought were good actually were not. And so he just spent a little time educating me on lighting so that I could have, just show up better visually since I'm on Zoom every day. Every day I'm on Zoom. Okay, go ahead, Sharice.
So, in just, being clear, perception is formed in
Mhm.
seconds. The minute a person sees you, they have a perception of you, right?
Yes.
And it also shapes your opportunities.
Mm.
So what that means is people are saying, like you said before, oh, do I want to work with them? I don't think she
Mm-hmm.
can take care of me. Oh, I don't think she can handle the job. Or I don't think
Mm-hmm.
because he's not polished enough. Or
Mm-hmm.
he's, scrappy enough. You
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So that's
Mm-hmm.
why it's important to be intentional and do your homework,
Yeah.
because those first impressions are credibility,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Even the online versus the in-person,
Mm-hmm.
presence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pet peeve about that. And you know about this, Natalie. I don't want to see you online and then cannot recognize you in person.
Okay, preach, preach, preach.
That is a number one form of deception.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Immediately, psychologically, people will not trust you.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to make sure that I can recognize you from online to in
Mm-hmm.
person.
Mm-hmm.
There's a fine line with going to get your makeup done, your hair done, and looking beautiful and glamorous on these photos. And then how far away are you from that in person?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I'm really huge on, natural photo shoots. That's
Yeah.
why we're having a little riff with the AI, stylist and
Mm-hmm.
consultants. With the AI thing, a lot of my clients are like, what do you think? It doesn't look like you. Are you going to live the twin,
Mm.
or do you want to live a more natural looking life? If you're going to have an AI twin, that's fine. Live the AI twin life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Natalie. That's Beverly. My Beverly
Yeah.
is going to have my back. But do not, do not sit up here and try to portray yourself as that twin.
Yeah.
That's deception. And it's
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
people will not, you will see yourself losing or not gaining clients that you could gain if you were more authentic.
That's
Decide
right.
how you want to move that in that
Mm-hmm.
space.
Mm-hmm.
It's how clients decide how who to trust.
That's true.
They
It
trust
is.
your,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and your value as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if if I can't trust you with this image, can I trust you with my work?
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know? And give me your insight when it comes to, being a therapist and how people are showing up with you. Do you have a lot of people that are showing up in imposter syndrome and wondering how to go do business?
On the coaching side, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, talking with other therapists as they're building their practice. And so I think one of the things my therapist struggle with the most is knowing that they've arrived. You have the
Mm-hmm.
master's degree, you've done the practicum, the internship, and everything. You've arrived now. So stop
Mm-hmm.
chasing more knowledge and information. You got to get out there and start practicing. And I think
Yes.
with that comes the authority when you just start doing it. And then we got to talk about, okay, what does your branding look like? What do you look like? Are you looking like the professional you are? And so there, and sometimes there's a little bit of mental work we got to do in that emotional work because, and I had to do it myself, especially stepping into like, I'm a sex therapist. And so being able to say that out loud, hold on one second, y'all, something's going on with my computer. Being able to say that out loud
Yeah.
and sit in that and then have what does that mean I need to look like? What does that mean my website needs to look like? What do we do? How do we want to be in this space? And I think we could have gone either way. Where do you want to look more professional or do you want to look more kind of whimsical? You know, kind
Mhm.
of more I want to say kind of ethereal where would you dress in a lot of like loose clothes and you know that kind of
Mhm.
I don't know what kind of look to say it to do. There are different ways that you can show up. And so
Yeah.
figuring that out and then actually doing it and stepping into it and staying there. And you
Yeah.
guys, I don't think it's about sometimes, how do I want to say this? I feel like the word authority can feel a little heavy sometimes. And so so having visual authority, if that feels intimidating, then okay, let's back up and let's switch out that word for authenticity and stability.
Mhm.
How
That's
can you
good.
and consistent? So how can you show up looking stable, looking consistent?
Mhm.
Not
Mhm.
whether you got it all together or not, looking like you have it all together and doing that consistently, the same two to three things consistently, saying the
Mhm.
same two to three things consistently. You don't have to know everything or everybody or be everything for everybody. You need to
Yeah.
figure out the one to two things, three max that you're trying to do and how to do them, and then how to present yourself consistently to do those things
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
should halfway be in the same court, you know, and around the same area. Um,
Yeah.
okay, I digress.
Okay. So we'll talk about let's just define what the visual authority or
Mm-hmm.
authenticity
Mm-hmm.
is. That's, the alignment between how you show up and the level of expertise, leadership, and the value you really want to be known for.
That's good.
Is what you really want to be known for.
Yeah.
And you showing up in that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
components are your personal style, your grooming, your clothing, body language, and posture.
Mm.
So you can be a casual business person,
You can.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That that's your look. We're really casual now when it comes to business. Even when we're showing up to more formal events, we're
Right.
more
Yep.
right.
I think that's
But
a combination of COVID and Gary V. But yay, I'm excited about it.
exactly, and but your body language and your posture can say everything,
Mm-hmm.
right? It can say everything about who you are. You know, that's your brand presence. And okay, so let's go back to, do you look like who you show up on the internet in person?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
are you as poised? Are you as postured, right? Are you
Yeah.
as polished as you are in those photos?
Yeah.
Not be very far off. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's the office, that's play, that's dating, that is anywhere. It
Mm-hmm.
needs consistent, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the platforms.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the key point in that is your image should communicate your value before you say a word. I
Yeah.
have a whole program, you know, before you say a word, your image should say everything. Before you even open your mouth, your image should say who you are.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. So
But that takes intention.
it does. And it takes thinking about it. And I think this is one of the things that this is a sometimes a working on the business as opposed to in the business. And so
Mm-hmm.
it is going to take time where you're not seeing clients, where you're not doing the work to sit down to make an appointment with an image consultant to say, okay, what can I do and how can I do this so that it comes across well? I think another thing with this is accepting truly who you are and what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
I think for a period of time, I was trying to, I don't know, I feel like I would buy things or buy clothes or buy things for the business that really didn't work because I
Mm-hmm.
wanted them to work, but I really didn't sit down and have an honest conversation with myself. Like, I'm really going to implement this? Is this something sustainable for me? And so I
Yeah.
think really thinking about stability. But more than anything, all of this does take some time. Like it does take, hey, let me sit down, let me take this month, let me take this weekend, this next quarter and really get everything looking and bringing that visual authority that we all know you can.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes awareness. You have to become aware. You made a point earlier about people not really knowing or understanding who they are, so they're not moving in that. So,
Mm-hmm.
right, we're most of us in our audience 40 plus. You're an
Mm-hmm.
expert at something. You're a
Yeah.
professional,
Yeah.
so you should show up as so.
Mm-hmm.
Even in your casual
Mm-hmm.
even in your casual moments, you should still always show up as a professional, regardless. And, let's talk about how that impacts your revenue.
Ooh, say that. Well,
Your
I think you'll get more revenue.
exactly.
Here, here, you'll get more revenue. Like it
Yeah.
matters. It does matter how you show up.
Mhm.
Um, and so, okay, that's all I'm gonna say about that. There you go, Sharice.
When people perceive, you with higher value, they're going to pay you more. They're going to be willing to pay you more because they see that you are the expert, especially when it comes to image and style. I used to think that, oh, I had to be dressed, to the nines all the time. No, I have to be
No,
polished. My
right.
hair is significant. My hair is very, very significant to my work and my industry and what I do for people. So as long as I have my hair done and I have on a clean, polished outfit, typically it's black, right? But
Mm-hmm.
as long polished and pulled together, especially based off my audience. I have been very fortunate to attract a very high end clientele,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't show up raggedy. It just is what it is. Period. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's respect as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
have to respect me the way I show up, one, and then I have to respect you the way I show up.
Yeah. That's so good because it. Okay, we're gonna go a little bit deeper, but I don't want to get too deep into this. But it does matter also how your team shows up around you. And so you looking good, but your team is looking ratty. That's not gonna
Not an option.
give a good overall look or feel to the people who are dealing with you. And so
Yeah.
just keep that in mind. If you're on somebody's team, keep that in mind. And as
Hmm.
you're hiring, keep that in mind. That it's
Hmm.
gonna be a whole complete package.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So
And really, like the awareness for me is key.
mm-hmm.
Uh, I think that some people are just flat out not aware that they don't look their best. Okay. So that's where
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people are like, well, how do I tell them? Well, call me in to tell them. Because I've had to go to many small offices and do presentations and let
Mm-hmm.
people know what is appropriate and what's not. Because some people just really don't. Okay.
Right.
When it comes to black, for instance, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have a receptionist, you interview her and you love her personality, but you really
Mm-hmm.
care for how she dressed. You
Mm-hmm.
want to have that conversation with her because you are the representation of first impression when people walk into this office.
Yeah.
So if I don't care for how you dress, I need to have a professional conversation with you. So
Mm-hmm.
whether it's, if me as the employer, I don't know how to have the conversation, you bring in a professional to talk to the team,
Yes. That's really good.
right? Show them examples of what is appropriate, for your body type, your skin tone, your body type, number one, because most people just don't know what to do with their bodies,
Mm-hmm.
especially in a professional environment.
Mm-hmm. Definitely so. It's a thing.
Yeah, it is a thing. It's a real thing. So you just have to be very, very open to, and let me go back. We're 40 plus. If you're still getting your feelings hurt for growth,
Mm.
that's a problem. That's probably an ego problem and a maturity problem because
Mm.
it's just what it is. If you're at this age and don't know certain things, you need to know them if you want a certain level of growth,
Yeah.
especially how up in the
Yeah.
way that
Mm-hmm.
we all have our weaknesses, and that's okay. That's why we have each other, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Last thoughts. Winding it down for the day. Last thoughts.
Well, I think it's just really important for people to, what do you expect, Natalie, out of your business? What do you expect out of your clients?
Mm-hmm.
And how are you going to show up to get what you expect?
Ooh. Okay,
Hmm.
that's a mic drop moment. How you gonna show up to
Oh,
get what you expect?
yeah, yeah. But I'm going to steal from you one of your Natisms. Can't expect high level clients if you're not presenting at a high level.
Mm-hmm. There we go. All right then. All right. All right, fabulous people. If y'all need us, we're here. Yeah, this
Yes.
is Sharice. Sharice is the image person. And so if we struck a chord with you today, we stepped on a toe with you today, you need to reach out to Sharice. All right. She is available. You can find her on Facebook. And we both are here to serve. So we both want the best for you. We want you making the most, doing the most, and living your best life. All right. All right, everybody. Y'all have a great day.
Have a good one.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
Audio Jungle.